If you're in your 50s, like me, or your 60s or 70s, I promise it's not too late to reinvent yourself. Believe it or not, you still have the capacity to surprise yourself. There's one condition though, and it's non-negotiable. If you satisfy it, your life can undergo measurable, meaningful change. Without it though, change is going to be really hard. For most of us, our lives coalesce into a mostly linear and predictable path where one year blends into the next. At some stage, we reach a point where our career has become fully formed, and then it ends. Likewise, our circle of friends becomes well established, and our skills and interests reach a mature state following years or possibly even decades of refinement. Change is something that we're no longer courting because, well, we don't believe it's going to benefit us all that much this late in the game. Let me argue the opposite. In the second half of our lives, the agency that we have over it actually expands as the responsibilities of raising kids and all the associated financial obligations approach the ends of their respective cycles. The load, for most of us, begins to lighten. And this, my friends, opens a world of opportunity to reinvent ourselves for the next chapter. And that chapter can begin at 50, at 62, at 75. And so my job here today is to give you 5 reasons why it's not too late to try something new. Regardless of your age, it's not too late to reinvent yourself. And here's the first reason. You have real-life, hard-won experience. In the old days, having experience meant something. I mean, it still does. It's just that it's been clouded by the concept of celebrity, where you can become known for just being known. But if you have experience in something, no matter what that thing is, there are other people in this world who will probably benefit from it. And because the potential audience for your knowledge is everywhere these days, thanks to the internet, your unique experience can find interested eyes and ears on the 4 corners of the globe. That simply wasn't possible 30 years ago. But the key advantage that your experience offers is the fact that it's your experience. That means it's coloured with your unique perspective, your scars, and your successes and failures. And these are all valuable commodities because they add authenticity and humanity to the things that you wish to share with the world. No one can do you, but you. That's why it's possible to enter a crowded field and still be heard, because your voice and your take on things will resonate with certain people where others just simply won't. So if you've ever fancied sharing what you've learned, there's room for you to do that these days, and you don't need anyone's permission to do it. Sure, you'll have to learn some new skills, but with close to 8 billion people out there, there is likely an audience tailored just for you. Number 2, you know who you're not. Spend any time on social media and you'll see plenty of people faking it till they make it. Except most of them don't make it. Success these days seems to be a fabricated construct of a false definition of an outdated set of ideals that seek to tell us who's successful and who isn't. Except most of it is bullshit. If you're old enough and honest enough, you've likely transcended this nonsense a long time ago, and you know that success is, as Earl Nightingale put it, the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Not what a 23-year-old Instagram influencer tells you it is. You don't subscribe to the hype because you realise that knowing who you're not is just as powerful as knowing who you are. 3, skills are easy to acquire. My dad is 87. He was a builder his whole life, and every nail in every structure that he built was hammered in by hand. He was old school, and he was a master. It would have been easy for him in retirement to shun new ideas, to ignore technology. I mean, he lives in the mountains surrounded by nature. His needs are simple. Yet he has a MacBook, an iPhone and Wi-Fi. He reads, he explores, and he continues to learn. And we can all do the same. We're no longer hampered by the old limitations. We don't need a university degree or rich parents or even the right connections to have a crack at something new. We don't need to scour the library or bookstores for knowledge, although I do advocate reading as a daily habit. There's online training courses, workshops, podcasts, ebooks, YouTube videos, and online communities where we can learn just about anything we like. How do you think Elon Musk learned about aerospace and space travel? He Googled it, literally. He devoured dozens of textbooks, and then once he had a foundational level of knowledge, he sought out and learned from others in the aerospace industry. I've done similar things myself. When I wanted to be a photographer, I bought books and magazines on the craft, and I practiced every day for years. And then I sought out wisdom and expertise from others who were already successful photographers. And I practiced some more. And that approach got me through the door of one of Australia's top magazine stables at the age of 18, driving and photographing cars, motorcycles, and legends of the racing world. So make Google, Wikipedia, and YouTube your own personal library of Alexandria. And whether it's photography or filmmaking, finance, or fancy hat design, the world of knowledge will bow before you. The 4th reason why it's not too late to try something new is The internet is the ultimate multiplier. In 1980, when I was 12, I helped my dad with a fencing job, and payment came in the form of a beautiful vintage camera collection, courtesy of the grateful client. And from that day, my interest in photography began. And it's something that I've been passionate about ever since. I mean, as a mad dirt bike rider, I immediately set about honing my skills at the local track. I photographed everyone, and then I attempted to sell them prints the following weekend. And, for a kid my age, it was a good little earner. Later, my attention turned to real estate agents, and armed with a collection of Coke and filters, I tried to make a name for myself, photographing houses for sale in a more artistically appealing fashion. But contrast this with today's opportunity where, thanks to the internet, you can work for people literally all over the world. Technology has dramatically lowered the barriers, allowing us to start with little to no capital investment, and we can do it from anywhere, literally anywhere. We've never had it so good. Nowadays, you can create something and send it out into the world right from your kitchen table. No generation before you had that kind of opportunity. Point number 5, you'll probably live longer than you think, hopefully. One of my favorite sayings is, your biggest mistake is you think you have time. And the spirit of this is simple. Time passes quickly. We put things off till tomorrow only to grow old and wonder where all the time went. But valuable as these words are, we're also living in a time where medical science and holistic living has elevated us to new heights of good health and longevity. Getting healthier and living longer to pursue your long-held dream is now easier than ever.
You know it's a nude calendar, right?
Oh, no.
God, you are asking for trouble.
Moreover, immersing ourselves in the happiness of pursuit rather than the pursuit of happiness helps us live a longer, happier, more fulfilling life. And that's what we all want. Just because you're 55 or 60 or 75 doesn't mean that your ship has sailed. If anything, it's been waiting there for you all along. Your job is simply to swim out to it, hoist yourself aboard, and set a course for your chosen adventure. Everything you need is available if you only care to look. Okay, so 5 things. You have real life, hard-won experiences that are unique to you. Number 2, you know who you are not, a superpower in a world of fakes. Number 3, skills are easier than ever to acquire, and they're affordable or they're free. And 4, the internet is a huge multiplier, providing a global audience to those who offer value. And 5, you're probably going to live longer than you think, so don't waste any time. So what do you get out of all of this? Well, knowing that you can change your life creates that first spark of childlike curiosity and arouses possibly long dormant feelings of, what if? Second, figuring out what to do creates energy. It gives you permission to experiment like a scientist, to try different things, knowing that the simple act of trying something without fear of falling or failing or looking silly is liberating. And at this age, we have nothing to prove to others. We're past caring what others think of us. And if we're smart, we realize that no one actually cares. They're too busy dealing with their own shit. And doing things to change our life makes everything look different. Feelings of optimism, excitement, and happiness return. Life improves on multiple levels. Our perspective on problems shifts when we do something for ourselves on our terms, our timeline, and for our own reasons. At the beginning, I said there was one condition to all of this, and that without it, everything would be an uphill battle, but with it, measurable, meaningful change could happen. And that thing is your health. You have to be healthy. An extraordinary life requires energy and mental acuity. And if your health is crap, then everything's going to be much harder. Everything will suck. Now, the good thing is there's no shortage of useful information online about getting healthy, regardless of your circumstances or your age bracket. And for me, for example, it's been walking, mostly with an under-desk treadmill. I hydrate, I limit sugar, I don't drink or smoke anymore, and I aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. And now that walking is almost a habit, I'm going to start resistance exercises too, with some free weights, a bull worker, and some other simple routines. You know, I used to dream of owning a private jet, a Lamborghini, and a solid gold Rolex. Actually, I still wouldn't mind the Rolex. But these days, what I really want is to enjoy what I already have. And most importantly, I really want the energy and the strength to travel more, to do outdoor activities with my son, and to pursue my creative passions like photography and, this kind of stuff, filmmaking, well into my 80s and 90s, video making, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm using the 5 points in this video to explore my interests, to develop new skills, and to share my knowledge and my perspectives with those who want to hear from me. And I'm doing it without fear of failing or falling or looking silly. On a final note, I want to thank you for your support this year and for the wonderful comments and emails and insights that you've shared with me. I genuinely appreciate all of you, some of you more than you probably know. And look, I know I've jumped around a bit on this channel, but my interests kind of demanded of me because they're broad. But one theme permeates all of them, and that is that life is short, and I want to live while I'm alive. And I want that for you too. So all the best for the festive season, and here's to a new year filled with delightful surprises. And if one of those surprises is quitting the booze, then watch this video here. And here's another video on the other side that YouTube thinks you might like. See ya.